Hey there, fellow LARPers, and welcome back to the Adventures Dispatch, where we track what's opening, what's changing, what's filling up, and what's generally worth your attention. I'm Steven, your forthright LARP knave, and this week is a really nice mix. You've got a few very bookable things and some fall tentpoles that aren't on sale yet, but are absolutely at the start planning travel, start assembling your party stage. Then a feature this week that might have you nodding your head vigorously in agreement with me, or scratching your head thinking, well, he's drank the Kool-Aid, that's for sure. And I always want to encourage people to go back to my previous videos to see other events that have opened up for tickets, or wait lists, or have dropped schedules, because I try to keep the news in each new video of the moment. But there are other things happening out there like Brandywine Festival, Chronicles of Ashenfall, waitlist opportunities for Conscience, etc. that would just be impossible for me to talk about each week again and again. So take a gander at the news in the videos past, while at the same time looking forward and watching my new videos. So for now, smash those like and subscribe buttons below on this video, and remember, all the links to all the events will be listed in the video description. Okay, you hit my buttons, now I'll hit yours. Darkness Emergent at Sea, a Vampire the Masquerade LARP cruise, is By Night Studios' World of Darkness Vampire the Masquerade experience, but scaled up into a 7-day cruise-based LARP, with the game woven into the ship's nightlife and social spaces. It departs from the Port of Miami on February 14th, 2027, Happy Valentine's Day, and returns February 21st. The official event framing makes it very clear that this is a full transformed live-in-the-setting week, rather than a hotel con with a pool. The ship listed is Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas, which means you're basically taking your clan politics, Hunger Games, and midnight diplomacy onto a floating resort. Perfect if you love high social vampire play and want the we can't really leave each other pressure cooker that only a ship can provide. It's already being marketed as an upcoming sailing with booking infrastructure already public-facing, so this is very much a start planning travel budgets and vacation days now kind of announcement. Chaos League's International LARP Festival Online is exactly what it sounds like. A global, fully online LARP festival where you jump into remote-designed chamber LARPs, short, punchy games built to work on voice video, alongside community panels and a social party space between rounds. It runs March 14th through 15th, 2026, is online, and the biggest status note here is the most inviting one. Signups are open and it's free. The format is clean, 3 game rounds, no prep required, and the games are designed to run under 3 hours, so you can sample up to 3 completely worlds in a single weekend without needing to read a 40-page setting packet. Next, we have Weekend Warrior. It's now locked its 2026 structure into 2 separate fall weekends. Weekend Warrior Olaran on October 23rd through 25th, 2026, and Weekend Warrior The Hearthlands on November 13th through 15th, 2026. Both run in Anderson, South Carolina. This is a high-immersion, large-scale fantasy battle LARP built for people who want the full army in the field feeling. Camps, factions, big set-piece moments, and a physical environment that supports that scope. Status-wise, the key detail is that tickets are expected to go on sale in spring 2026, so this is that moment where you start coordinating your group, your faction vibe, your kit upgrades, all the we are doing this for real planning, before the button flips to buy. Now, if you're feeling the stylish horror vibe and want something contained, intense, and aesthetically vampiric, the night in question is a one-night horror LARP from Jackalope Live Action Studios, explicitly rooted in the Vampire the Masquerade World of Darkness DNA, with the kind of who are you really social pressure that works beautifully in a tight runtime. It's been confirmed the event is running in fall 2026, with pricing tiers already outlined. This one tends to be for players who love high-stakes social scenes, creeping dread, and the feeling that every conversation is a trap with good lighting. Arcanorum LARP, the Manifold Pass, makes a full season commitment easy. If you're a give me the long arc with recurring faces kind of player, Arcanorum is a story-driven, light-touch buffer LARP in Colorado, and they're currently selling a season-style option called the Manifold Pass. The pass covers admission to 5 full weekend Arcanorum events at their Colorado camp venue, plus a bundle of in-game perks, and they even note that the unused admission can carry into the following year, which is a rare and genuinely player-friendly detail. Status-wise, it's purchasable now, so this isn't hype, it's a concrete option for locking in a year of play. Shadow Accord is part of Northwest LARPers in the Puget Sound region, and it leans into historical low fantasy immersion and collaborative post-storytelling. They've got a 2026 event schedule posted on their wiki, and their ticketing runs through a public shop page, which is a very clean, this is a real and organized status signal. Events are noted as being held at Camp Edward in Snohomish, Washington, and the structure is especially appealing if you like grounded worlds where atmosphere and community matters as much as mechanics. Snohomish? Next, Legends Tell, home of the Gates of Veilguard Fantasy LARP, has its Confluence weekends clearly listed, including Veilguard Autumn 2026 Confluence on October 22nd through 25th, 2026, at Disciples Crossing in Athens, Texas. The ticket listing spells out what's included: lodging access, some meals, bathrooms, showers, parking, in-game items, which helps you decide if it fits your travel style and comfort needs. This is a strong calendar is real, tickets are real entry, especially for players who want a traditional fantasy campaign feel with a dedicated site and a long weekend format. Moving forward, Faeble LARP Faire tickets are on sale now. Faeble pitches itself as a festival-style LARP fair with a very Americana fantasy vibe. Curious. And it's already in ticket mode for Labor Day weekend 2026, September 4th to 7th at the Airfield 4-H Conference Center in Wakefield, Virginia. Status-wise, it's straightforward. Tickets are on sale now. This feels like a strong pick for folks who want a multi-day hang with structured story and a fair round energy. Make a Scene is a Twin Cities scenario festival built around short-form European-style LARP, the kind where you drop into a fully designed world for a few hours, then come up for air and try something completely different. Their in-person festival is scheduled for August 14th through 16th, 2026, and it's set at Minneapolis Center for Performing Arts, an ADA-accessible venue with a theater-style setup that's ideal for tight, curated scenario play. Registration is open now, so if you love multiple buffet-style LARP, multiple worlds, multiple tones, lots of new people, this is one to get on the calendar early. If you follow LARP design the way some people follow Fashion Week, the International LARP Design Conference Knutpunkt 2026 is fully nailed down. Knutpunkt 2026 Seasons of LARP is confirmed for April 16th through 19th, 2026 in Gothenburg, Sweden. Knutpunkt is a conference, talks, workshops, meetups, post-LARP analysis energy, and the official site is live with dates and location, and the ticketing pages are active, including notes about day tickets. It's one of the best charge your creative battery trips in the hobby. Over in the UK, Recon 2026 is bookable right now. This is UKLTA season opener anthology weekend, meaning instead of one continuous campaign, it's built out of multiple short 3 to 4 hour games that are mostly designed to be pick up and play on the day, which makes it a really friendly format if you want variety or if you're bringing a newer player who isn't ready to memorize a setting Bible. And it's not vague about what you're getting. UKLTA lists the actual mini LARPs scheduled across the weekend, so if you're the kind of player who loves sampling genres, modern supernatural, sci-fi, comedy, procedural vibes, Recon is basically a buffet weekend where you can try a few different tones without committing your whole year to one storyline. It runs March 27th through 29th, 2026 at The Grange near Coventry. The event listing is up, ticket prices posted, and they also note that part payment is available. In other words, it's not just save the date, it's bookable and budgetable. which is exactly what you want if you're trying to keep your spring calendar from turning into chaos. Also, under the UKLTA umbrella, Cyberpunk, A Life on the Edge, Hearts and Minds, has confirmed that booking is now open for October 2nd through 4th, 2026, again at the Grange near Coventry. This is an unofficial fan LARP, setting expectations right on the site, and it's aimed at players who want neon-soaked moral compromise, corporate pressure, personal loyalties, and the kind of mission where success and survival might not be the same thing. The headline here is simple and actionable. The booking window is open and the date is locked. In Australia, for a change, Lost Settlers First Crossing is selling limited ticks for June 5th through 8th, 2026, in Riddles Creek, Victoria. It's described as a mature historical survival LARP built around scarcity, moral conflict, and exploration, with a clear content warning and a tone that's more hard choices than heroic power fantasy. Tickets are available now, so if you're in region and you like emotionally weighty play with survival logistics, this is a strong specific date to grab now. Now, again in Australia, the Hobbits Hoedown 2026 has its event scheduled for November 20th through 22nd, 2026 in Westburn, Victoria, and it clearly lists 2 ticket sale moments, April 11th, 2026 at 6 p.m. and May 11th, 2026 at 12 p.m. Now that's probably local time, so as always you should check out the website. Now these ticket drop times are concrete, so if you want a wholesome Hobbit community LARP down under, or is it Underhill, you know exactly when to be at your keyboard. So what's going on over at Phantom Peak? Well, for fans of walk-through worlds with story hidden in corners, Phantom Peak has confirmed it's moving to Westfield Stratford City in East London, with the new venue slated to open in summer 2026. And their official pages make it clear that tickets will be on sale soon, with a sign-up option to get the alert. This is one of those, if you like immersive games, keep your eye on it moments, because the venue shift usually means new layout, new routes, new story hooks. I'm very excited for this for the next time I'm in London. Now, London's Immersive LDN is launching Cleopatra the Experience, with doors opening March 26, 2026, and it's pitched as a strictly limited 15-week run. The hook here is the blend: artifacts plus tech-forward storytelling, including a glasses-free hologram and VR, all framed around Cleopatra's reign, legacy, and mythic cultural footprint. It's in full book now mode with practical info published, so if spring travel is on the table, this is a real calendar entry. David Byrne is bringing a new large-scale immersive walkthrough piece to the US this spring. Theater of the Mind is set to open in Chicago inside the historic Reed Murdoch building, with the Goodman Theater as presenting partner, and the format is closer to a guided small group journey rather than a sit-down show, with timed entries and a runtime around 75 minutes. It's slated to begin previews March 11th, 2026, officially open March 25th, and run through May 31st, 2026. The production is framed as an exploration of perception and identity using theatrical immersion rather than a traditional stage narrative. Okay, I'm about to say something that will make both Disney adults and LARPers stare dumbfounded off into the distance. What if Walt Disney World is basically a giant LARP? Not because everyone is role-playing all day, most people aren't, although some people are, and we'll get to that. No, because the structure is the same. Rituals, rules, roles, and a shared agreement to behave as if the world is different. Here's my working definition. A LARP is a real place temporarily transformed with rules and social signals where people accept the fiction enough to act differently than normal life. Disney does that so well that it doesn't feel like roleplay, it just feels like being there. Now, the first obvious parallel, costuming. In LARP we call it kit, at Disney we call it fit. And at Disney it's forbidden except on Halloween to dress up like a specific character, so it's all about what's known as bounding. colors corresponding to outfits of characters, wearing themed outfits, similar hairstyles, or hats as characters, looking at you ears, or hints at dressing like a character or franchise, like the person who is clearly from House Frozen. And even when it's not about the bounding to a particular character or IP, people dress different. They think about what will suit them to wear in their anticipated transformational day. Matching family uniforms, park-branded merchandise, supposedly clever self-referential t-shirts that put one knowingly above the fray. I'm looking at you here, Princess Security Dads. And in the end, our Disney fit becomes very important as to the overall experience. And even if you go to the teenager grunge, I'm not wearing a stupid Team Pluto t-shirt like the rest of the family route, I hate to tell you, but that's still you investing in your costume and your role in the Disney sphere. Then we have the NPCs. First, the obvious NPCs, the roaming characters. Some are just there for you to grab photos with, but even the slightest interaction with a character is about bringing you into the world. Suddenly you're acknowledging what a good boy Pluto is, or how handy Goofy is, an insincere compliment as he is so not handy. Or how Chip is your favorite, much to the chagrin of the omnipresent Dale, or admitting to Mickey how you've always loved him. Who cries when they see Mickey? I don't. Then stepping it up a little are the princesses, finding out what Belle's favorite book is, or more to the point, her asking you for your recommendation. Getting Snow White's autograph and complimenting her singing, having the evil queen cross out Snow White's autograph and give you the stink eye as she gives you her autograph instead. All these interactions bring you into the realm of fantasy, or a different time, or a specific movie, pulling you out of the real world. Then there is the even more active NPCs, like Rey, who asks you to help her keep the rebels safe over in Batuu, or the stormtroopers, who walk about actively menacing you. There are several interactions in Batuu that bring you into the Star Wars story and make you a part of it, down to our next set of NPCs, the cast members, who have created in-world backstories you can ask them about as they sell you their blue milk. Now, as for cast members on the whole, their job isn't just customer service, it's maintaining coherence. They manage flow, tone, and expectation without breaking the spell any more than necessary, all while wearing theme costumes, placing them squarely in the land they're working in and assigned based on their individual roles. So you know immediately, oh, that person is a cast member, they work in sanitation, or they work at Casey's Corner, or they work at customer relations. Their kit gives you all the information you need to know about them. Isn't that something you try to do when you're assembling your costumes for LARP? Don't you try to tell other players a little something about your character just by looking at you? Now let's talk about rides. Rides aren't just attractions, they're micro-worlds. Like you're at a giant LARP convention and you're getting to pick and choose different LARP worlds to attend. Small pocket settings with a role for you. In good LARP, you don't just watch the story, you enter it with a job, a position, and a point of view. Disney does that in miniature all day long. You're not just someone on a ride. Quick examples. In the Haunted Mansion, you're not watching ghosts, you're touring the house and the house notices you. In Peter Pan's Flight, you're not seeing Neverland, you're flying to it. During the Jungle Cruise, you're not observing the jungle, you're on an expedition and the skipper becomes your party leader. At Mission Space, you're not learning about Mars, you're assigned a role and trained like crew. And you fly to Mars. Rise of Resistance, you're not watching the resistance, you're handled like an operative inside a scenario with a beginning, escalation, capture, and escape. That's not passive entertainment, that's structured participation. And it's one of the core goals of LARP design. It isn't just animatronics weaving some sort of spell. It's the decision supported by the ride that allows you to believe that the story is happening to you. And there's another hidden design lesson here, onboarding. Cues are basically lore packets delivered through architecture. Theme posters, warnings, instructions, props, sound design. They teach you how to behave inside the fiction without you ever feeling like you're being taught. Nobody arrives at Disney and says, I didn't read the setting document, so I'm lost. The world explains itself. fast. Now let's talk about mechanics. Rides are modules, queues are pre-show, sometimes with scene briefings, and the ride is the encounter. And the shop at the end, well, that's loot distribution. If I buy a pin, it's not a purchase, it's a quest reward. Loot acquired. And let's not forget the Play Disney app that contains many side games to play while in each queue or area. In Back 2, there are actual quests you can go on to earn badges and credits. Again, loot acquired. Not to mention the other worlds and their quests. The Pirate League in Magic Kingdom, where you follow maps and search for treasure. The Huey, Dewey, Louie quest in Epcot, where you discover hidden clues scattered about the different countries of the world. So, is Disney World a giant LARP? Not exactly. Here's the difference. Agency. In LARP, the world can change because of you. In Disney, the world reacts, but it's mostly on rails. You can't overthrow the kingdom, you can't reroute the plot, you can't meaningfully alter the narrative, but you can participate in the fiction, and the environment rewards you for cooperating with it. Most people indulge a little bit in it, giving into the moment for some fun, but there are a lot of people who go and forget themselves for the whole time at the park. The world outside disappears totally, and the only thing that's important is getting to the next immersive world, i.e. ride, to lose themselves in. For folks who bring the world of Disney back to one's day-to-day life and lose their own identity and sense of self to it. This is a little similar to the idea that LARP can help people move through emotional blockage, but it is not therapy. And perhaps we Disney adults should start to talk about Disney drop and Disney bleed a little bit more. Another difference between Disney and LARP is Disney is a safety engineering machine. Flow, boundaries, clear rules, constant staff presence, not glamorous, but it's how the magic holds at scale. If you run LARPs or you design immersive experiences, Disney is a living case study on how to make onboarding effortless. Make the world legible, make the rules clear, reward participation, maintain coherence, let the people feel competent inside the fiction as fast as possible. Disney definitely does this, and it's something our hobby can steal shamelessly. So no, Disney is not a LARP. But it might be in the same animal family. I mean, it's basically the same design language and has so much in common with LARP, so LARP adjacent, definitely. Drop a comment below if you can think of any other ways that Disney World might be like a LARP, or maybe why you disagree with my premise altogether. I'd love to hear from you. And if you see me in the parks, which I'm in often, wave hello. Though I might be playing a character closer to Hades rather than who's the good boy. So that's the video for the week. Like and subscribe, and remember all the links are in the description below. And if something turned into an instant yes for you, tell the community in the comments what you're eyeing and why. And if you've been to any of these before, drop the one thing you wish you'd known on day one. That kind of intel is how we can all help each other out. And what did you think of the feature this week? Is Disney just a big, giant, fluffy LARP by another name? Or way no way, Jose? Let me know. Now, onward into your story. Events are noted as being held at Camp Edward in Snohomish. Really? Snohomish, Washington. And the structure is especially appealing if you like grounded worlds where atmosphere and community matter as much as mechanics. Next, Legends Tell, home of the gates of Veilguard. Oh my god, what is going on?